9. So, if you can both count and read aloud at the same time, I'd really appreciate it. So shout out because the room is quite big and we are few. So number 1, off you go. Who's got number 1? The number's on the envelope, sorry.
We might have left.
Pardon?
Oh,
they might have left.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say number 1 then. Any. 2.
Impression. We.
Choose.
To make. 4. Choose.
Thank you. Choose to make. I think we're on 5 now. 6, sorry.
Leaves.
7. 8. Permanent mark. Thank you. That was the person who was thinking like you. Lovely. So basically, any impression we choose to make leaves a permanent mark. That is, where did I point this at? That way. That is one of the mottos or one of the sayings. So it's actually, I don't know if people out there know where that's come from. It's come from Plato's Republic. So it's one of the things that we begin both of our courses on is this saying. Any impression we choose to make leaves a permanent mark. We begin every session with a really active, I would have you do another kind of potentially silly things, if I could, but that's related to the content of the rest of the programme. So yeah, moving on. How did the courses come about? We, in '98, the prison service recognised the importance of parenting education in reducing reoffending among male establishment of prisons, and research had also proved at that point, sort of early on, that parenting education also meant that men were more likely to engage in further education and further employment within and outside of the establishments as well. And so Safeguard at that point were already working with prisoners who worked together with the prison service to develop these 2 programmes, which are kind of co-owned by the Ministry of Justice and Safeguard. So yeah, the 2 programmes, as I say, one's Family Man. This one looks at a more broad perspective and place of what is the individual's place within their family, whether that's brother, uncle, father, whatever it is. It's a wider view of their place. And Fathers Inside is specifically related to parenting. I do think this is one of the important things that we're talking about here today as well, is in our lives, in all of our lives, we're looking for our place. What is our place? Why are we here? What is it that we're supposed to be doing? And a lot of people fall into criminal behaviour as they're looking for their place. They're looking for somewhere that they can belong. So it's great to see that the short DVD of Band of Brothers, because it shows what's happened to some of these guys before they get to where we're working with them in the prison establishment. So the difference as well being Family Man is a 7-week programme, Fathers Inside 5, and Family Man considering the impact of imprisonment of the whole family, and Fathers Inside considering the impact of imprisonment particularly on children and their carers. Another sort of unique aspect of the project as well is it's quite fundamental for us that we provide training. And a lot of the focus is on, a lot of the methodology is drama-based. There's a lot of storytelling, improvisation, image work. The principle is active learning and creative learning, because a lot of these men obviously have been involved in traditional education, as we know. For a lot of them, that hasn't worked out well for them. Not everybody, but for a lot of them, that's been the case. Just to give you a bit of an idea of the family's perspective. Since Kevin started the Fathers Inside programme, he's changed and improved his parenting skills. He's writing a letter every week and realises that it's not just him that's going through hard times. Working together as a family and communicating with each other more has strengthened our marriage also. As a family, we're getting stronger and coping so much better and looking forward to the future. And that's all thanks to you and your team. Another thing I should point out is that in Family Man, and another reason as well why it's a little bit longer, is that the prisoners get to choose and they get to nominate an adult supporter. That supporter is usually a mother or a partner, often it's a partner, or a sister or a friend. Very seldom is it a man. And that's a question that we're kind of asking today as well, so where are the men in these men's lives, where are the positive role models? And often you'll talk to prisoners and they have either no relationship with a father or a poor relationship with a father, just that lack of a male role model. So yeah, it's a full-time course. Again, that's quite an achievement. By the time the men get to the end of these courses, they've been working for 7 or 5 weeks full-time on one thing, coming every day. And for them and themselves, a lot of them, that's a massive achievement. I can do this. I can come, I can apply myself every day, and this is something that's working for me. There's qualifications attached, they get a certificate at the end of it as well. And they do a presentation in both cases as well for their families. So there's an invited audience. They get an extended family visit if you like, and they present things that they've done in the course, things that they've learned, but also, you know, in the case of Park in Wales, we've seen a prisoner dress up as kind of Tinkerbell. So they do a presentation specifically for their children and do things that at the beginning of the course they're like, I'm not doing that. And then by the end of the course they're really happy to share what they've learned. Yeah, the what next session, so I'm going to go back, because that's fundamental again for today. I mentioned it earlier. Well, I mentioned it earlier, so that's when the men work on a family action plan or a personal action plan. And in both cases, there's a what next session where we invite, or where the prison invites internal and external organisations to come in to speak to the men and to speak to exactly what it is that they want to do after this. Because on the course, they're very motivated, they're very looking forward to doing something else. This is the moment to catch them and to give them that one-to-one contact with somebody who's got a solution for them in terms of progression onto the next thing. So that's that. I'm finishing now. If I can move this on. And that's another thing in terms of like building the sector together. I would really appreciate people to talk to us about that today. A little bit about evidence. Have I got 2 minutes on evidence?
Not 2 minutes, no.
Half?
Show the slide.
Okay, so this basically shows that 70% of the men were engaged in purposeful activity pre the course week, and then after the course, 93% are engaged. And this evidence was gathered from 2007. There was a little bit of a problem with this evidence for us, in that there was no control group, and this was conducted in Wandsworth between 2007 and 2009. At the minute, we're working together with NOMS, the Ministry of Justice, to do another piece of research which does have an evidence-based group. I just want to say the last thing, that it is unique in that it's the only full-time parenting course that prisons are running at the minute. At the minute, we're running in about 15 different establishments, and with the hope of working with more. Thank you.